theory still applies though, that backpacking.
Oh yeah, that just it only supports the theory.
Beginning of another day. We've got Forester Pass to greet us this morning. We came up a little bit yesterday to take the edge off the climb, but we've still got just a hair under 2,000 feet over 3 miles. It'll be fun. Forester Pass is the tallest pass on the trail at 13 and some change, and it's the last pass before we get to Whitney. So today's gonna be a shorter mileage day just because we're not in the mood to rush it. So yeah, we'll see where today takes us, but at a minimum, we're gonna get over this gosh darn pass. Good times. Hey, what's up?
Side trail adventures, right?
That's me. Piece of cake. We made it. Forester Pass. 13,200 feet. The highest we've been on the trail yet. We're leaving Kings Canyon and entering Sequoia National Park, our third national park of the trail. It was probably my slowest climb. Joe's nice enough to slow his pace for me. It took us about an hour and 35 minutes to get up 3 miles, but we made it. Whew. And the views aren't too shabby. But we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. I'm gonna catch my breath, although there's not much oxygen to breathe up here. And then we'll get on, see where the trail takes us. Good times. at the home for the night. Just a hair under 12 miles for the day, so that's kind of our standard. But we're not very far from Guitar Lake, which is where we're definitely staying tomorrow. I'll say it's like 7.8 or something like that. So it'll be a very short day tomorrow. But that's kind of by design because, yeah, we're going to be getting to bed early and then getting up really early the next morning. But anyways, found this nice little creek, nice little site right next to the creek. So today was challenging for me mentally and physically, not just because of the pass, but I tweaked my back right before we stepped off this morning, and to the point where Joe insisted on helping me put my pack on. And so if you've ever talked to a chiropractor that's worth their weight, they tell you that for any lower back injury, the best thing to do is put on a heavy pack and then go hike a 13,000 foot pass. So that's what I did, but oddly enough it didn't help. And so Joe gave me some of his Tylenol during lunch, and that has at least helped me hike normally. So give it some rest tonight. Hopefully it'll be back to normal tomorrow. But for right now, just chilling. Good times. Well, our afternoon of chillaxing has been in the tents. We got everything set up and had maybe a few minutes to just hang out, and then started hearing that. And I was like, you know what? I think it's probably rain. So I went and got some water out of the creek just for some drinking water. And came back and just started pitter-pattering, and it has not stopped for the last like hour and a half now. So I did something I haven't had to do since Scouts, but I had to dig a trench around a little bit of my tent to keep the water from creeping in. But you can kind of see where it tried. Got my trowel out and did a little emergency repair, but so we'll see what happens. Maybe eating in the tent tonight. That'd be a first. Still good times. Well, the rain slowed up just enough for us to come out and brush our teeth and say hello to each other and then go right back to bed. So I don't think the rain is done yet. I think this is just a window. So whatever. That's why we brought tents. I'm gonna crawl back in my tent and go to sleep. We'll see you in the morning. I think whatever fits in here is gonna be what stays. As much as I hate carrying things up there that I'm like my sleeping bag that I know I'm not gonna need. I like my sleeping bag. Right. I would like to use it later. I suppose we'll check the wicked weather for Friday. And I think the earlier the better. Well, no, I don't think it's going to be pleasant.
I think you should be down.
I think it's going to be cold and windy. Back on trail. A very, very moist evening. Rained for almost the entire time after we got off trail. Let up just enough for Joe and I to high five and then go back to bed. And then it kept raining all night, so we were definitely moist. But today, just a short little 7.8 mile jaunt to Guitar Lake. Plan is we're gonna get there early, maybe scope out a decent camp spot, go to bed as early as we can, and try to force ourselves to sleep. I'm gonna get up at midnight, break down camp, and then hopefully by around 2 a.m. we're gonna be stepping off for Mount Whitney. Pretty excited. Joe and I have been talking, and it's been kind of a mix of emotions these last few days. For me at least, the last couple of days have been the hardest. Not necessarily because of the terrain, but just the cumulative effect of hiking 10 to 15 miles in this terrain every single day. It wears on you physically. And then the mental aspect of just being away from home and all that other stuff. And so this is definitely like, it feels like a sprint to the finish. We both had to remind ourselves that this is what we came for, and that the finish line is definitely within our reach, and we just have to keep pushing. So that's what we're going to do. Going to keep pushing. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So yeah, fortunately not too many miles today, and I don't think the terrain is anything but straightforward, so no passes or peaks or anything crazy like that. So all right, we'll see you out there. Good times. Where are you guys going?
Give me back my Snickers!
All right, with our earliest arrival time to camp at 11:34. We made it to just above Guitar Lake. Guitar Lake is down there. Mount Whitney's up in that direction somewhere. But this is our jumping off point for Mount Whitney. So I'm gonna keep this short because the weather is deciding on whether it's gonna dump on us or not. It's sprinkling right now, so I'm gonna throw up some shelters real quick. Whew, good times. We spent most of the afternoon in our tents. Had some serious weather rolling in on us. We really don't know what's coming until it crests that ridge right there. We were just kind of hanging out. We got the tents up. It stopped raining. Sure enough, it just started raining again. And then we had hail, and then it stopped. And then we had some more rain and thunder this time. So it looks like it's cleared up for the time being, but I don't know if I trust it. But we're headed to bed. It's 6:30. But I'm getting up at midnight and gonna start getting ready. And we're gonna start our 4-mile climb up to Mount Whitney. Very surreal to be this close to the finish line. Lots of different emotions. Most of them are good. But, all right, we'll see you in a few hours. Good times. All right, 145. Got 4 miles up, 2,800 feet of ascent. Let's do it. Good times. All right, about 2 miles down, 1,800 feet up. We're at like 13,450, I think is what Gut Hooks is saying. So it's the highest we've been so far on trail, and we're only gonna keep going up. So we're gonna drop some bear cans and unnecessary weight here. It's gotta be all of 30 something degrees. It's cold. You can kind of see way up there. There's already some folks up there. But I can definitely feel a difference without the bear can. So, all right, time to have some more good times. This is fun. We're having fun. Whew.
There are instances in life when you have to pause and remind yourself to be in the moment. Although the frigid wind and bleak darkness were all that greeted us at the summit, reaching Mount Whitney was a bucket list goal my brother and I had set for ourselves. It started as any idle conversation might, with some mention of someday we'll get out there. But as we stood there, taking in the California sunrise, shivering with the bitter cold, we were still able to find peace, feeling truly blessed to experience a moment that most in this world will never know, knowing that someday was today.
It's cold. So we got up here a little over an hour ago and it was completely dark. And now the sun is finally poking its head out. I don't know if it's gonna get colder or not, but the wind is whipping. Got internet for a little bit and weather report said it was 35 degrees up here. But holy smokes. Highest point in the lower 48 states. just wish it was a teensy bit warmer. Oh, still good times. You ready to go? I'm tired of waiting on you. It's 6:30 and we're headed down. It is frigid. Holy smokes. We go through these cycles of feeling the cold and then not feeling the cold. I wish it wasn't so miserable because the views out here are amazing. I mean, literally on top of the world, I feel like. I guess we'll get the blood flowing a little bit with some hiking. Still good times. Making our way down, but just kind of give you some perspective because it was pitch black when we came up this. So up there is Mount Whitney, and way down there is Guitar Lake. And that's where we started this morning. Well, we made it back down to the ridge crest. Trail crest, that too. Picking up our bear cans. Unfortunately, nobody stole my poo bag. So,
Nice try.
I was really hoping somebody was just gonna take it, thinking it was food or something, but nope, I get to carry it some more. But views, still pretty awesome. Good times. All right, so change of plans. So we've been hiking since 1:45. It's now 8:20. Joe and I laid out a relatively conservative itinerary. And so the original plan for today was to hike down to a camp about 2 miles below us. But I think Joe just doesn't want to poop in a bag.
I don't want to poop in a bag.
I mean, honestly, who wants to poop in a bag? But the rules are you still have to poop in a bag in this area. So it's 7 miles to Whitney Portal, which is the official end of our hiking trip. And we thought we were going to be wiped out after getting basically no sleep last night and then hiking up to the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states. But we're still kind of rolling. So it seems kind of silly to make camp this close to the finish line. So we're going to push to Whitney Portal. We'll see how that goes. Good times. So since this is our accidental last day on trail, I told Joe I feel like I need to like cram a bunch of footage into this last 7 miles. But something that occurred to me that seems very fitting. So for anybody that watched the our MST segment 4 trip, you know that my new friend Mark gave me the trail name Downwind. And I begrudgingly accepted it, hoping that this trip would replace it somehow with another trail name. But unfortunately, this trip only solidified that name. When we were at VVR, when we were ordering food, Joe put her name in for the food order as Downwind. So when our food was ready, the chef calls out, "Downwind!" So that sort of made it official. But the whole reason I bring up that whole story is to point out the fact that we're still in the Whitney portal zone where you have to pack out all human waste. So that means you poop in a wag bag. And so I indeed did use a wag bag yesterday and am currently carrying it now, which is about the least sexy hiking thing you could possibly do, but sometimes that's what you got to do. But moral of the story is my brother is behind me, and so whatever fumes that wag bag is giving off, he's walking right into. So that makes me smile. I got to admit, the thought of real food and a real bed tonight have put a little extra pep in my step. I think this 7 miles is going to go down like a fat kid on a water slide. Good times. Other random thoughts from the trail. 4 hours ago, Joe and I were just summiting Mount Whitney and absolutely freezing our tuchuses off. And now we're sweating uncontrolled. 4 hours ago. What is wrong with this world? Still good times. So we just came down from Trail Crest, coming up to Trail Camp, which is where we had penciled in camping tonight, which obviously is a thing of the past. But the reason we had penciled in camping here at Trail Camp was because we thought that descent was gonna hurt. It did hurt a little bit. It's amazing the sedative effect that the hope of food and bed do for the body. So we're gonna keep pressing on. That's what I'm gonna look like in a few hours eating a cheeseburger. My big old butt hanging out, stuff in my face like it's my job. Good times. So we got about a mile and a half left in our John Muir Trail journey. And why is it that that last mile and a half takes forever? It was like this when we came down to Onion Valley for our Zero and Independence. But this is, I don't know. There are parts of this that are better. The sun's not beating down on us. However, I did the math, and our descent in elevation from Mount Whitney, where we were this morning, to where we're going, the Whitney Portal Trailhead. The descent is 6,173 feet down. That's almost as tall as Klingman's Dome. There's a reason that we had originally wanted to split this up, but we made it to that campsite at like 9:20. I was like, no. So we're gonna crank out this last mile and then be done. Good times. Just like that, we're done. A little anticlimactic, but 220 miles in the books.
Done it.
Let's go find something to eat. Well, I can't imagine this trip coming to a close any other way than with thunder and lightning and rain. And Joe and I have been working on our hiker trash merit badge. So far we've got the requirements for Thru-Hike complete. We did our night hiking, and now we're gonna try something that I never thought we would ever do. Something I never thought I would ever do in my entire life. We're gonna hitchhike. Hopefully we're gonna hitchhike. We're counting on the sympathy vote, but we're at Whitney Portal trying to get into Lone Pine, so it's not an exceptionally long hitch. Just about anybody that leaves here is going to Lone Pine. We've got a hotel reservation there. So I guess we crossed our fingers. Good times.
Well, the adventure continues. Riding in the back of a pickup truck in the rain, but it's a ride.
Good times.
And with that, our journey that we had worked tirelessly towards for nearly a year had come to an abrupt and unceremonious end. There were no cheering crowds or fanfare, not even an acknowledgement from a passerby. Simply a high five between my brother and I, an acknowledgement of a mutual understanding between the two of us, that we had accomplished something, experienced something that was hard fought and soul bearing, something that we would carry home with us and share forever.
And just like that, we're on the streets of whatever this is, Lone Pine. So that's our hotel right there. We're gonna roll in there like wet rats, but it's good times.
Since we finished the hiking portion of our adventure a day early, we found ourselves with an extra day to kill in the mighty metropolis of Lone Pine. It gave us a chance to relax, see some local sights, and my favorite part, eat some great food. As we pulled out into the desert on our way back to the Reno airport, I couldn't help but feel that Strider and I had left a piece of ourselves up in those mountains. Something that would always be there. The version of ourselves that we all strive to find again and again.
Good times.
The thing that keeps us going back, keeps our hearts always yearning for that untamed wilderness. When I first met these mountains a few weeks ago, I was intimidated, like looking into the eyes of a wild animal. But as I looked at them again now, I simply saw an old friend, one that I would dearly miss and think about every day for years to come as my heart ached to be outside. Checking off a bucket list item is not an everyday occurrence, and this wasn't one we took lightly. The waves of conflicting emotions washed over us on the long trip home. But just as we had climbed each pass on the trail to see what was beyond, Strider and I were now looking beyond for our next someday.
I knew we were going to be burning our pancakes off this morning.